Could you tell me something about India in general?
India in general.
Or something about
Okay.
India's?
I'll tell you about some of the things that are very unique to India or very distinctive of India. Because one is, as everybody knows, we are the largest democracy in the world. I think that's something we don't appreciate that much, but I think the rest of the world appreciates that, because despite all our problems, financial problems, economic, poverty, and we have, contrasts in our country. You have the very advanced, highly advanced, technologically advanced things, and you've got still things that are very primitive, and people who are very rich and people who are still poor. But those are the differences. That is something very unique. The two coexist, and we're trying to level and equalize, but it will take a long time. We have several different states, each with its own unique culture and language, and sometimes even climate. We have the northern states and the eastern states, where it can get very cold in the winter and snow in some parts of India, like in Kashmir or Himachal or even Uttarakhand. It snows in those states. And then you have the other states in the south that are very, very hot in the summer, temperature going up to 40, 42. And then we have the states in the on the west coast, that have high humidity in the monsoon. For example, the humidity is as high as 98%. And then apart from that, food, the cuisine, each state has its own cuisine, and within the state, each area, each region has its own distinct cuisine. So we have, if you say Indian food, it's very difficult to define it, because we have different kinds of food that make up Indian food. Most often abroad, people give you just Mughlai or the North Indian Punjabi cuisine, and they say, or Delhi cuisine, and they say that's Indian food, but that is not Indian food. Each state has its own unique cuisine. That is one. And then the caste system, I think, is something very unique to India. It still exists, although people are not so open about it in many ways, but it still exists. We still have, and the Brahmins still consider themselves the highest caste. And the Brahmins are basically not business people. They are not, although some are venturing into business and the industry nowadays. But basically, a Brahmin is not business minded. He is more into education, higher learning, that kind of a thing. He would be happy teaching at a university or holding a nice post in a research organization, or something, or maybe even not in government anymore. They are not in government so much, but they're mainly learning, higher learning. They encourage their children to study well, go for further studies, go for higher studies, excel in whatever they study. So that is, I think, one unique feature about Brahmins today. I think all other aspects of the caste system are more or less under control, but I think it's still prevalent quite a bit. Where marriage is concerned, people are still a little conservative. They'd like to marry within their own caste, but you do have these intercaste marriages, some well accepted, some not accepted. But a lot of things have been done away with the caste system, like we wouldn't have lower caste people working in our kitchens, but today we do have that. We don't mind them working in our kitchens. So that is one change people have seen. And then food, well, even like young people all over the world, even the young in India like to eat junk food, apart from but when they come home, it's always traditional cuisine. But they do like to order for a pizza occasionally and have it at home, like all young people all over. Maybe even go out and have a pizza. They do have junk food, but that's mostly outside the home. But at home, they still tend to eat traditional food. And our food is relatively healthy, because we cook every day and we buy fresh ingredients every day and cook our food.
Isn't it nice and hot?
Yeah, then again, as I said, cuisine varies from region to region, but generally Indian food is hot, spicy, a lot of spices and hot. Generally it's hot, use a lot of chilies, red peppers or green peppers. But it's hot. And same goes for the clothes, I guess. Young people in India wear all kinds of clothes these days. There was a time when we were in school or maybe in college, we didn't have much of an option, But today, young children in India, young in India, apart from children and young people, wear all kinds of clothes. Whether it's Western clothes or more Eastern clothes or even in Indian clothes. They've got modern, fresh, branded wear, designer wear, all that is there. And the sari is more or less, people do wear saris quite a lot, but it's now slowly becoming more of a garment for an occasion, for a wedding, religious function, for an evening out, something. People like to wear, like the girls like to wear jeans and trousers and shorts, but to work they probably wear trousers and in Western attire. Some may like to wear salwar kameezes, some may like to wear skirts. And the sari is still there. I would say the sari is there, the sari is still there, but it's slowly becoming an occasional kind of a thing, very much like the Japanese kimono, I think. But not that much in the rural areas, women still do wear saris. Younger people tend to wear salwar kameezes.
And what is that?
A salwar kameez is a pair of pants with gathers, or you can have it either tapering with gathers, always with gathers. Gathers, You've got it gathers around the waist. So it's not sometimes it's a straight pant, sometimes it's with gathers, so you have those pleats coming onto the pant, that's a salwar. Or you have a churidar, which is tight like a drain pipe pant with gathers at the bottom. And they pair it with a tunic, what you call a tunic and what we would call a kameez.
Which is a kind of a long blouse.
It's a tunic.
Yeah, it's a tunic.
It's a tunic. There could be a varied varying length, a little short, knee length or below the knees.
Yeah.
It depends on what is in fashion. Then you can have a scarf around it, or what we call a dupatta. That is again worn in different styles depending on the fashion. So sometimes it's just around your neck, sometimes it's just over one shoulder, sometimes it's over both shoulders. There are various ways of draping the scarf that we call dupatta. And then young people like to wear jeans, shorts, pants, like young people all over the world. That has changed a lot. In earlier days, people would think twice about wearing those clothes. They consider them, Western. And today, because of globalization, young people have access. They come into contact with people from other countries in the course of studies or work. People travel to America or Europe for work. So then it becomes easier for them to interact with them if they're dressed like them. So it becomes easier, the communication is easier. And it's the same when they come here, they feel more at ease if we are dressed like them. And at first encounter, then subsequently they know that. The young, but it's as I said, it's because of the globalization. Young people dress here like a lot of young people the world over. Other than the only unique thing, they would have something different. The girls would be a salwar kameez. Otherwise, boys, you couldn't tell they dress like boys abroad. What else do you want me to tell you? Education.
Yes.
What do you want to know about
it? Highly respected?
Yes.
Yes. What is it? How is
Education is given a lot of importance. It's a must for everybody. Given a lot of importance. And all right through India, education is given a lot of importance. In fact, people feel ashamed if they haven't, if they've been to college and dropped out, or if they've been to school and dropped out. They think, people feel these days that you should at least have a high school education. At least because, sorry?
How many years is that then?
High school, what you call high school would be what we call the 11th and 12th. That would be around 17 years or nearly 18 when you finish that, and if you go on to university another 3 years, it would be, you'd be around 20, 21 when you finish college, you would graduate.
So how many years?
You would graduate, totally it would be 11, no, it would be 10 plus 2 plus 3, 15 years of education. That's from the time you go to school, from the first standard.
And how many years should you do?
No, everybody.
On an average?
On an average, everybody these days, there was a time when people would just finish school, that's 10th. And they would find something else to do, train to be, I don't know, maybe a fitter, turner, or lathe operator, whatever. But these days, even those courses of study require a high school. You got to finish 12th, that is, you got to be about 17 years of age. And then these days there are a lot of career opportunities, so people, when this is a must, they finish 10 years and then the 2 years of high school, then they think of their future, whether they're going into engineering college or medical, they're going in for a medical degree, or they're going in for some other architecture, I don't know, commerce, become accountants, or whatever, these days for any further education, the minimum requirement is that 12. You have to do 12 years of study. Then you are eligible.
And what's the last exam called then after the 12th?
That's the 12th. That is called the pre-degree, PUC, pre-university course it's called.
What is the most popular education right now, do you think?
What do you mean? What would people like to do? I think information technology is very popular these days. Information technology, not necessarily an engineer, but software. They go into software development, everything connected with information technology, especially software development is a big market for that. A lot of engineers who've done hardware branch off into software, or they start there. Computer sciences, basically they call it, I think there is a degree called Bachelor of Computer Arts or something like that, computer sciences. A lot of children like to, that would be very popular now. And also a degree in management, business management, that is also very popular with the young people. Because very often they find jobs while they're still studying to be business managers. So they have what they call campus interviews.
What is?
A campus interview, say you're in the last year of your college, last year of business management studies, and these big companies that are in India, the multinational companies, can be any company, they have what they call a campus. They come to the campus and they interview a lot of students. If they like some of them, they select them as trainees. And they're selected as trainees to work with them. And then they work with them and then they have a contract with them. They probably work with them for some years and then move on if they're not interested. Some stay on in the same company. So that's a way of, they get the best in the, from the talent pool. And young people also have hope that, they don't have to go looking for jobs. And I would think these two are very popular, business management and information technology. Very, very popular. Amongst both girls, boys, both girls and boys. Both want to do information technology or business management, because then they get these fancy jobs with fancy salaries. So I think a lot of young people want to do that.
And when they
apart from the regular, those who don't go that far, say they feel they can't go to university after the 12th, they then go to what is known as a polytechnic, where they train to be maybe an AC mechanic, or or a fitter, or a lathe operator, or turner, something to do with industry. So then that is one. And then in places like Goa, a lot of people like to go into the hospitality trade, hotels, airlines, travel, tourism. Today there are more opportunities for young people in those sectors. Tourism in a big way, so a lot of people like to go into that. Hospitality sector, hotels. That is also a big attraction for people who are not interested in doing, all those 3 years of graduate studies, and they feel they cannot handle that. They like to diversify into these courses.